Now we can start recording, and it is recording now.
Okay. Who would like to give a more thorough recap?
I make no promises about... What was that?
I was just joking. I said I feel called out.
I make no promises because my memory is a soup, but I believe we started with going to visit the family at the temple.
Yep.
And sort of say our goodbyes and... As well, it's very heartwarming. People very nearly cry about the painting that Julia... Inoue Rivera and Agathon nearly cry at the painting that Julius did.
Hee.
I believe we drop in on Yoshi, but don't end up having a full conversation because apparently he managed to do something really right and business is booming. Not quite literally.
Yeah.
And we make our way. And the travel passes without incident until we are making our way. We're like a day out from where we're going.
A day, maybe?
Yeah, it was something like that. When we see smoke that does not look like a campfire. Get a bit alarmed, go to look, find some bodies, a ransacked campsite, and 2 goblins. We put far too much effort into figuring out how to deal with not getting jumped by these goblins. They were just some guys.
Mm-hmm.
End up investigating the bodies, find out that that some of them were murdered in really weird ways, and also there are some in the trees in also really weird ways. And then something that's in one of the trees tries to grab Asta with a vine, and yeah, so it turns out there's murderous things in the trees. It's fine.
Much like Pokemon, the fight music starts after you've been grabbed. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
You say as I click the literal battle music I have in Roll20.
Oh, I have. Maybe I should turn my music off. Let me see.
Don't forget to rechange what map we're on.
Yes.
I'll use my fight music for now.
Yeah, there's an evil plant.
There is an evil plant, yes. And we currently know where this fella is. I need everyone to roll me initiative.
I was just gonna ask, did we roll last time? Which I don't think we did.
No.
Shit. I saw the 9 and I'm like, well, hey! No, it's only a 9.
I got my token.
Not the 60, 48, and 56 on this turn order.
Oh no. They're stuck there forever.
Just brings them into this combat real fast. Every combat has.
Yep.
Oh my god, Asta was shaking hands.
That's okay. I've had
Yes!
something go wrong with
Julius!
one of my...
You rolled a natural 20.
I forget where Alex was supposed to be.
Let me roll just to get on the board.
I had something going sideways with Roll20 last week, which basically ended up with all the spell save DCs being at like 53.
Oh, Jesus.
And I still don't know why, but it made one of my players panic. I'm like, no, it's like 16.
God, that's so funny.
I don't remember where Alex was supposed to be.
I think he was back with the people hanging back with the cart.
Okay, where is that? Where Granny and...
Yes.
Down here.
Yes. Okay, so I'll be back here, I guess.
Okay. order.
Take the
Okay.
risk that Roll20's going to be a bastard because I don't want to have to go get dice tray and dice right now.
Break out the dice.
Julius,
Hello.
you can see the head of this almost Venus flytrap-like set of vines, like sort of curled up in the branches of this tree.
Ooh.
What do you want to do?
Well, let me see real quick. Where did my item for... sorry, I'm looking for... Where did it go? Why is it not in my inventory? Sorry, I was looking for, where the hecking, paintbrush was. I guess it's not there? I don't know. Anyways, oh, it's in the fucking thing here. Hold on, you gave a handout. I'm silly.
Item handouts, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. Oh, okay. I don't know, could he pull that out real quick or no?
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to pull out the paintbrush, like just kind of click open the box it was in and pull it out. He's going to kind of like... Aster wasn't fully like pulled into this thing, right? He's not grappled
No,
or anything?
Aster made the save.
Okay. Then Julius is gonna assume that since that other tree has something in it, like people in vines, that there's probably another vine monster in there maybe. And he's going to center Fireball within 20 feet of this guy and the other tree. Probably in the center of that tree there to hear.
Careful not to hit the goblins because they are just guys. They are just some guys
Oh
doing their
shit,
best.
they are close there, aren't they? Hold on, let me see if there's a more advantageous place. This might be a better place, yeah. I'll center it over here, just behind the tree, so they won't end up getting hit. But it will still hit this thing.
Dexterity saves from them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a DC... Fuck, where's my stuff? Hold on. DC 16.
One of them fails, the other rolled a natural 20.
Damn. Alright. So I'm gonna roll... How many D6? 8 D6, right. I need to grab more D6s. 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7... 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That would be 24 points of fire damage.
Okay. And half for the other.
And half for the area, yes. So they would get 12, I believe.
Yep.
But that's all he can do on his turn. He just kind of like does that over Astra's shoulder just a little bit. Kind of sweating a little.
The goblins are just like, what the fuck? As they watch this burst of like radiant fire sort of explode. Alex.
I'm gonna go here, and did it just get damaged, right?
Yes.
Okay, we told the dead.
That's a wisdom save.
Dead.
I'm pretty. Oh wait, no, I don't have toll the dead. Why don't I have toll the dead? That's a cleric thing. Hello? Wait, let me check my other sheet.
I swear you do. Because I don't know if Toll the Dead...
I must. I
'Cause you've
remember
done it
using it.
before.
It's just not on my.
Yeah.
I only had my roll 20 open. Hold on.
Hmm.
No, it's not on my. What the fuck?
Dylan has it.
Dylan has
Alex
it.
might not.
Why doesn't Alex have it?
Bruh.
Oh, probably because I built him in D&D Beyond, and D&D Beyond literally doesn't list it for
Yeah.
clerics because it's some late thing. Well, okay, I'll Sacred Flame him, I guess. Fuck.
Okay, dexterity.
Next level, I'm fucking switching my spells around. Jesus.
That's going to
We
be a
don't need
failure on the
mending.
dexterity check.
Well, that's 5 damage.
Okay.
Ill.
Kill.
Anything else?
Why does Dylan get it and Alex not? Hello?
Anything else you would like to do?
No, if there's, well, oh, my spiritual weapon, because I have my bonus action. Yes.
Yes.
I will cast spiritual weapon. Ooh. No, I'll save it. Okay, I will cast spiritual weapon at its normal level. Well, that's not gonna hit, but it's on the board. I'll place it. Do the burst, like one of these two, right here, because those are. I'll do it at the closer one.
Alright. You should have spell tokens.
It's
Okay.
a cow.
It's a cow. I can grab him for you. Oh, he is on the wrong layer. There he is.
Oh no! There he is. He looks so dumb.
Yeah.
Alright.
Cow.
Nin.
Hold on, sorry. My roommate needs me to take her to get her car, so I will be back. Someone else can control Nin for a bit. Sorry.
I got it. No, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Nin. Nin is going to... I'm thinking about how far away Nin is. Nin is going to get up sort of underneath this tree here to kind of help. And then Eldritch Blast the assassin vine she can see. Twice! Both of those are gonna miss. I believe. No, wait, actually one of them does hit. Fuck, okay. So one of the shots of Eldritch Blast sort of scatters across the vine.
Yay. Hit.
10. Alright, that's 5 more points of damage for it. It is the vine's turn. So, you see it shift and move in this tree, and it is going to lash out at you, Aster.
That's foul.
Okay. Has a 20-foot reach on the attack.
Scary.
I don't think a 13 hits.
No, a 13 does not.
Okay. And then, because you don't know where it is, it will get advantage on this attack. But you are suddenly made aware of exactly where the other vine is, as it lashes out at Julius.
Yay!
Let's see something in this thing, yum yum. 18?
That'll hit.
Okay. So the vines sort of shoot out towards you. and you feel it like wrap one around your arm and the other around a leg and pull, and it's got you grappled. You are also going to take. I need some d6s.
Julius just yelps as he's pulled.
Where are all my d6s in this bag?
Oh god.
No, that was just me like going through dice. That was not the actual roll. Don't worry.
No, I know. I mostly was like, oh god, you need more d6s.
So you're going to take 10 bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and then you are also going to take some poison damage.
What damage?
You're also going to take some poison damage that I
Okay.
have to roll for.
Which of these two looks the worse off?
The first one that you saw.
Okay.
You're going to take 23 points of poison damage.
Oh!
Oof.
Well, guys, guess who's below 10 hit points?
Uh-oh.
Woo!
That poison is bad. Woo.
And you are grappled,
Cool.
and you are pulled towards it a little.
Uh-oh.
Exalia.
Okay. Shit. I'm gonna go with what I was gonna do originally, which is use bonus action to dash to here. There may or may not be some parkouring over, under, or around the cow. There may or may not be sliding over the cow like they're sliding over the hood of a car.
The cow is floating, so you are perfectly
Parkouring
safe to slide under the cow.
Under the cow, that's fine then.
It's very cool if you slid over it like it was the hood of a car.
That would be cool. You
Next
just
time.
jump up just to slide over the.
No. Tempting, but no. Unfortunately, I only get the one attack then, but that is gonna be a... Oh shit, only a 14.
That will hit, actually.
Oof. I don't think I get the sneak attack, though, because I don't think the cow counts.
The cow does not count, no.
So that's only 8 points.
Okay, it's still 8 points of damage. And these things are kinda chunky. Not looking very happy, though. It's kinda spits and, like, little globs of, like, pollen kind of, like, spit out towards you.
Yeah, Ix is gonna sneeze.
Irene.
Oh, there's hay fever.
No, it's Lena that has hay fever.
Okay. Where am I? Where am I going? Where did I come from?
Where are you coming from?
Okay, I'm going up to stand by my cow friend. And I'm gonna cast. What am I going to cast? The
Oh, you
answer.
haven't announced. Sorry, I thought I had missed you, and I was like, what are you casting?
No, indeed, I am just. What do I want to cast? I know how to. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost.
Okay. That will hit, yeah, for sure.
An impeccable 3 cold damage from Irene Marvin.
Yeah. Get him, Granny.
Well, you've brought it to exactly half health.
I am doing my best. I'm actually upset. The 23 to hit and the 3 damage. Yeah, okay, that's my turn.
Rip, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It was funny.
Alrighty. Aster.
So I come to the table. Do I go for pretty much guaranteed decent damage, if not big damage? Or do I try and get Julius free?
Get the damage going. Because if I get free and they
Cool.
just grab me again, it's gonna be game over.
As Asta's gonna reach out and, very similar to when you've seen the Necrotic Shroud, reach out and sort of pull and twist, and I need a con save at disadvantage.
Okay. I doubt a 13 makes it.
13 actually just fails because Asta's DC is not particularly high. His DC is 14. So it takes, give me a quick second to do math, because it'll take max damage from this.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Yeah, it just straight up takes 64 necrotic damage.
Oh,
This thing
Jesus
is fucking
Christ!
dead. You fucking kill that one. Just fucking rob it
I
away.
wanted to send the text of it to chat.
Wow.
So sexy.
I'm glad you gave us a plan for our first
Hell
level 7
yeah.
encounter.
Yeah, it just rots away. Like,
Beast
with
mode.
It's just
So,
gonna move up.
yes. Go for it.
He's gonna move up so he can try and cover Julius, and on the next turn, either try to get Julius out or get the vine, or get this bastard's attention, and that's all.
So the little goblin guys that are gonna go right now, because that is actually their turn, sorry, Julius.
Yeah, that's alright.
Fucking see the fireball and the sacred flame, and they're
Oh yeah,
just like,
things are on
"What the
fire
fuck?"
also.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. And they start scrambling back away so fucking fast.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Makes
They-
sense.
They're gone.
Bye, guys.
That's very fair.
Julius, as they're running away, looks at you. Astra, like, whips around in the vines and is just like, can you do that again?
Unfortunately, no.
Shit. Julius.
He's gonna whip his head around then instead, and he's gonna look at, yeah, sure. You can look at Cowman.
Actually, at the start of your turn, you're gonna take more damage.
Oh, cool. I might just, die from this. We'll see.
You're not gonna die.
Well, no, I don't mean die. I mean, like, lose my turn. And then have to roll death save.
Yeah, okay.
If it's anything above an 8, I'm down.
Well, I rolled a 19
Okay.
as the poison sort of throbs again in your body and your vision goes white, and all of you see Julius go limp in this thing's vines.
Yeah, he goes limp as he was turning to look at fucking Aster. He had his paintbrush ready to go, and then he just went down.
No.
So actually make me a death saving throw, please.
Cool. I'm gonna take down my points here. Hold on. What dice do I use? I think I have to use the liquid core for this one. That's a 16. That's one success.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the success.
He doesn't want to die.
Alex, your turn. You just watch Julius go down.
Yep.
6 seconds and he's down.
It's fine.
You can get him back up.
Okay, I'm gonna go in between Julius and the other plant monster. Well, actually, no, I probably shouldn't do that. Hold on. Because the plant monster will grab me. I'll go here. I'll go here. And I will, cast, Cure Wounds at 2nd level on the Julius.
Julius.
Yep,
gets
Julius the
point.
Julius.
Thank goodness.
That is. Oh, why did I only roll 1? I cast at 2nd level. That is 13 healing.
Julius, you get 13 hit points back, and you come back up conscious again, still trapped in this thing's vines. Anything else, Alex?
And it would be an action to pull him out, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna spiritual weapon. Go over here. Bonk.
Okay. Roll an attack.
The-
Oh, yeah. I
Sweet.
mean, rip on the extra roll, but yeah. That'll
That's
do it.
Ill.
Power of homosexuality.
Yeah, homosexuality, guys.
I mean, people really will roll nat 20s is the thing.
It's Nin's turn, and Sarah is not currently here. I am aware that Nagi is not currently in the turn order, but had this fight gone differently, I would have had a million things to do, so, no.
It's fine.
She's gonna come up here, and she's going to take 2 more shots. Both of those will hit. She'll do force damage, not take it. Fuck. Cast the spell, hurts yourself. No. That'll be 15 points of force damage. I need a better pencil. I need to sharpen all my pencils. It is the Vine's turn. Julius, it's actually gonna let you go. Actually, no, it's gonna keep holding you. And because it has 3 people within the 15-foot square of it, I need Aster and Alex to both make me strength saving throws.
Big and strong. Well, no, I'm not.
Aster, once again, you feel that, like, the vines sort of curl around your feet and ankles, and you pull back and you stomp down on them.
Oh god, I forgot it's within 10 feet. Fuck.
It's within 15, actually.
15? Oh, Jesus.
And Alex, you feel you are sort of distracted by Aster's sudden movement, so that by the time it wraps all the way up to your knees and grabs, you're sort of distracted. You are currently restrained.
Alright.
You can use your action to make a strength check to free yourself. And at the start of your turn, we're going to take a little bit of damage.
Okay.
It is going to further pull... No, it can't pull Julius. I'm sorry, that's part of the action. Ixalia!
X really does not want to be grappled by this. Couldn't quite get behind it anyway. X is going to move to there, and it's going to shoot it rather than stab it.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy, I was going to make a suggestion.
Make a shot.
Okay.
Tasha's, if you don't move, you can take a bonus action to give yourself advantage.
Yeah, there's technically no one within 5 feet of it right now, so you're not going to get your sneak.
But if you if you use none of your movement, you can give yourself advantage. And
can I?
if you sacrifice your movement and your bonus action, you can give yourself advantage.
Okay, is this a new? I'm
It's
confused.
yeah.
It's one of the optional road rules in Tasha's.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. The question is from there or wherever I was. I don't know that I can see this.
You can see it. It will have quarter cover from you.
In which I will stay where I am and give the bonus movement and the movement for advantage.
Okay.
Because if I hit it and I get the sneak attack from the advantage, that's going to be about as much as I would do in a bonus action throwing a dagger at it anyway. With the short bow, at advantage. I really need to reread through Tasha's because I missed that. It's a 17.
That'll hit even with the cover. So that's a good 13 points of damage as the bolt sinks into it.
Yes. Go X.
It is bloodied. Irene.
That's me. Everybody else is all the way up there. And I like being right here. So I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Yeah.
Okay, roll your damage.
Come up, Granny.
Let me decide what level. I'm gonna... How scuffed is it?
Looks bloodied.
Alright, I will do a second level Magic Missile. Just for the fuck of it. 14 points of damage.
Pretty good for a magic missile.
Nice.
Again, if you see that sort of dripping, sort of greenish, like, globule of pollen or maybe poison kind of dripping out of its mouth as it sort of at all of you. Anything else, Irene?
I don't have a good line of sight to do give up my movement for a cantrip, right? Because Julius is right there.
Julius is right there. It would have 3/4 cover from you.
Well, I don't have anything to lose.
I mean, Julius.
Don't say that. I'm not
so
gonna hit Julius.
He'd be fine if you hit him. It's okay.
If I miss, would I hit him?
If you roll a natural 1.
I probably won't roll a natural 1.
You'll be fine. Even if you hit him with a natural 1, it's okay.
I'm not gonna hit him.
You're not.
I'm manifesting.
No hits.
I'm manifesting.
To Julius.
Don't. Okay, good.
What it would have been had you rolled a natural 1, but no, you hit. No, wait, you don't hit with 3/4 cover, unfortunately.
It's okay because it would have only been 3 fucking cold damage again anyway.
Welcome back, Sarah.
So,
Sorry about that.
You're good. Aster.
Question here. Ensnared in vines, correct?
Yes. Both. So Alex is ensnared and is kind of being held in place. Julius is almost like fully grabbed and like being pulled at by these vines.
I'm being manhandled.
Yeah. So what I could do is, the question I have, if I were to hit the vines with something, would it just damage the vines, or would it be likely to actually go up the... Okay, I'm going to ask very specifically. If I were to hit one of the vines holding one of my friends with Vampiric Touch, Would it just wither the particular vine, or would it go up to the main body of the beastie?
That'll, I mean, the vines are the beastie.
So that sounds like that might be a yes.
I mean, yeah, but, like, it would be like if I grabbed your arm, am I grabbing your arm or you? Is like the question you just asked me.
To make sure, is the fact. It's just gonna vampiric touch, basically grab the vine that is snarled around Alex.
Okay. Does it have to make a save? What's up?
Making a
That just hits.
Cool. I am
It is
checking
starting-
vampiric touch.
It is starting to look quite bad.
Regain hit points. Cool, and because I haven't moved,
Mhm.
I get to, hey, would you give me a wisdom save for it?
Sure. That's going to be a failure.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Is that enough? Hold on. You see this thing with that first hit kind of like the whole body kind of like ripples and it starts to kind of pulling Julius with it. And then you turn around and one last Toll of the Dead and you hear it shriek. And then fall out of the tree.
Excellent.
That was just the right amount of damage. Congratulations,
Yo.
you killed my you finished my assassin mind puzzle.
And he's gonna use the axe he's gonna use the blade of the axe to sort of cut people free.
Yeah, Julius
Yeah,
is wiggling himself out.
As it dies, you can feel the vines like release. And it's just a matter of getting yourself all out of the weight rather than the grip. Congratulations.
Fuck, that hurt.
I can do healing if you need.
Hold on.
And that's both of you.
I have some healing that I can actually do, and he's gonna hold up the brush. And he... First of all, is gonna try it on himself first. What level? Is it just like first level for the cure wounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the base level.
I don't have cure wounds in my thing, I don't think, so I don't know. How much is cure wounds again? It's...
Plus your casting mod.
No, what's the dice? How many?
1d8 plus your casting mod for the base level.
Thank you. That was the information I needed. I knew the casting mod. It was just I didn't know that. Ooh, okay. So Julius gets back max on that, so that's 8. That'd be 13 points back to himself.
Julius, with your hand around the paintbrush, you sort of breathe and you go to cast this spell, and you feel like this little rush of warmth travel up your hand and into your arm.
Ooh, that's nifty. Okay, who else got really fucked up? It was... Aster got some damage, right?
No. So avoided all damage.
Who else got damaged?
It just grabbed me. It didn't damage me, right?
Oh, cool.
No, because you were going to take damage at the start of your next turn. You did not damage
Okay.
now.
Yay! Okay, then I don't have
Yeah, I
to
think it's
spend
just
another
Julius.
charge. Yay! Do I want to spend another charge? Because there's 3 and I get them back at dawn. I'll spend 1 more charge. So there's 1 left in the paintbrush.
We'll also come over and sort of hand on your shoulder and give you healing hands.
Sure. He's at 36 out of 41 currently. So I could take another 5
7, but
points.
Yeah, so it would be 7 because I haven't actually updated Asta with the modern canon's arsenal yet, and then I want to look it up.
Alright.
It would be 7, but that would take you to full.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you. Yep. Julius is fine now.
The goblins are long gone, and both assassin vines are limp. One of them a pile of plant matter around the other, stuck up in branches of the tree. The bodies they were holding have all slumped to the ground as well.
Julius is gonna put the paintbrush back in its nice little box where it's safe.
You are looking at the number of bodies these things were holding, and you're thinking about just how fast they put Julius down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shit.
Ugh.
So having seen them now, does it seem like because there were bodies over in the campsite proper?
Mm-hmm.
Did it seem? Does it, with the context of having seen these things acting, does it seem like that was what killed those guys as well?
The injuries that the ones on the ground by the campsite had taken looked a lot more like weapon wounds. And as you're sort of looking in between the two bodies to compare, you see that the ones dropped by the vines are all, or at least have, sheaths for weaponry.
That's interesting.
What was that, Joe?
So kind of, well, that's interesting.
Is there anything, like, on the plant creatures that would be, to our eye, valuable? Or no?
Roll either a nature or investigation.
I would like to investigate. Wait, hold on, what's my nature? The same. I'm gonna do investigation because it seems right. Ooh, that's good. That's an unnatural 20.
Maybe someone skilled enough could be able to pull some of the poison out.
Do we want poison? Because I think maybe if you cut here, maybe we can get some of the poison these things had, and that was fucking awful. Anyone skilled with a blade? He's looking at Ix.
I mean, it's a little rude that you think I'm not.
He raises an eyebrow at you. Show me your worth. He gestures to one of them.
Sorry, so what am I doing here? I spaced out for a second there.
Oh, Julius was able to find, on one of the plant creatures, there's, like, some poison parts possibly that we could collect and have the poison from them, if you're able to collect it, because I don't think Julius is skilled enough to get it.
Oh, I'm really not sure that Ix is, but, they'll give it a go.
Maybe you can make either a
Aster's
survival.
willing to assist.
Okay, Aster's willing to assist. Make either a survival or a sleight of hand.
Okay, we can do sleight of hand. Ix is pointing at Julius and is full on. If I get poisoned here, I'm gonna vomit on you first.
Sure. Let you
So
have
with
that one for
advantage.
free.
Poisoned, I can deal with it.
So, is that with advantage since Aster's helping? 17.
Yeah, it's weird. You're not used to this sort of work, the sort of, the butchering of a monster. But you are able to eventually collect about a vial's worth of assassin vine poison.
Yo!
Go.
Sweet.
So it'll be about 1 use of it. It can be applied to any weapon. It can be used as any poison naturally can. Upon use, it will do 66 points of poison damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
But you only got the 1.
It's one more than I was expecting to get.
Can I try to find the weapons belonging to these guys from the trees?
Yeah, make another investigation check. Yeah, so it's not very super hard to find most of them. The ones that are not still in their scabbards are sort of lost among the grass and the branches, but you're able to find a collection of daggers, some short swords, a surprising number of scimitars, actually. Which is kind of an unusual weapon for the area.
Travelers. And or boatmen.
Yeah, what sort of quality does it seem like they are? Because Alistair's first thought is, this is a really unlucky group of bandits who attacked this camp and then immediately got by the vines.
Very well made.
It's a bit unusual. Like, I think Alistair's going through, it's a little, stored no directions probably, I don't, but Alistair's going, we're a little bit too east. I know that's not correct, but anyway.
No, east is actually correct. You're too east for this.
We're a bit too east for scimitars. It's interesting.
Would it be maybe something from, what do you want to call it? Those boats? We'd seen boats as we were, like, leaving. Maybe they were traveling from that or something? I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah. Ask. They aren't necessarily going to be honest, but I can ask if we really want to know.
Is it inherently concerning that they're here?
I'm going to ask you actually if you know about rumors of plant monsters or local bandit activity.
Parker.
Since we all had a...
Make me a history check.
Am I good at this? I don't remember.
Yes. It is the thing that Irene is, I think, best at, actually.
Sorry, what did you say?
History.
History. I thought you said nature, and I was like, I don't think I'm good at nature. 27. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's Irene.
Nice,
I know who I am.
Granny.
Okay. So as for the assassin vines, while it's a little weird that they're this close to the road, they're not uncommon animals for the area.
Okay.
Like, it's not super weird that they're this close to the road, just kind of like a, ooh, yikes kind of thing, you know?
Have a guy.
The further you go, the areas by the river, by the main Horitari River, can end up kind of marshy in places, and can be very heavily forested. So to see these vines is, common. Unfortunate. They're kind of the reason why some paths in this area can be very dangerous. And it's generally very common traveling advice to keep your eyes up in the trees. But usually they're not this close. There are sometimes unfortunate incidents, but
Okay, so the plants are not out of the realm of possibility for somebody just got really unlucky.
Yeah. as for local banditry, Eumesong's kind of a big town, small city. So it's not uncommon for occasionally groups of bandits or the local thieves guilds or groups to kind of, you know, be active.
Mm.
This is kind of a weird spot for them, though. The geography here makes it like kind of hard for a decent ambush, and it's a pretty small road. If anything, they tend to sort of walk the bigger roads, the ones that follow the river more closely, which is why you take these back roads. Because there's just not a lot of foot traffic. In fact, the more you're thinking about it, the fact anyone would camp here off this back road, this close to the city? Unless they had some sort of emergency and they really had to stop, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So what you're saying is the fact that they're here is a concern.
Yeah. The fact that anyone's here, not even just the bandits, but their victims. Or the supposed bandits.
You know, Asta, it might be a good idea to just check in and see, now that I'm thinking about it. Just ask maybe and see. It's just an unusual spot to camp. Not so unusual spot for the vines, unfortunately. I mean, it's a little close to the road, but not terribly so. But you know, if it's an option.
Should I ask one of the bandits or one of the victims? I have enough magical reserves to do both.
I think the bandits might be a better idea.
I was going to say the opposite, because presumably they'd be more honest. But it's just odd that anybody would be here at all.
Have enough reserves to do it to ask both. But I am gonna need a hot soak when we get to.
Well, just why don't Julius is right? Why don't you just do the bandit and then don't do the other one?
I mean, I think your idea is good too, Granny.
I think both have their merit, but I think Asta should only do one. So
yeah, just in case.
Just the bandit, yeah.
He's gonna nod, and he's gonna grab some incense out of his pack. Cut one of the bandits like fully free so that.
Okay. The bandit you cut free is a smaller sort of halfling sort. And you pull her from the vines, and again there is kind of you're looking at her as you're kind of laying her body out to prepare, and the armor that she's wearing is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Does she have any?
She has the long scimitar at her side, and it's not drawn. For whatever reason, it's still sheathed, and there is a nice carving to the hilt.
Is there any markings on her body?
Make an investigation check.
Oh god, okay. We'll roll this again. No, that's a 2 plus 3, I think. So that's a 5.
Nothing you can immediately see that sticks out to you.
Alright. Had to try. Thank you.
She's sort of dressed in like light armors, like a studded leather. But again, very nice, very well kept. The leather is like is stained a very nice, almost dark black. And if you didn't know better, you'd say like the trimming is like where things are sewn together is like this bright gold metallic thread.
Okay, so before I cast this, I get 5 questions. What am I asking?
Can they answer in full sentences or just like yes or no? Like, are there limitations on the questions?
Entirely on the spirit. Sometimes. Well, asking out of character, or is Irene
That was
asking?
out of character. Sorry.
Okay, so out of character answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or if it recognizes you as an enemy.
Okay. I mean, I think we want to ask, why were you here?
Why were you here? Did you know about the vine before it got you and your friends?
Where were you heading, maybe?
Yeah, where were you heading? Possibly where were you coming from?
That could be good.
Are you part of an organized crime organization?
Do you
Where
do
did
crime?
you get your nice things? This is
Yeah.
a joke. For the record, these are jokes.
Alright, you are able to cast Speak with Dead. It is a spell you are familiar with, Aster. A
It's
spell
also a
that
spell that doesn't get me in trouble because it technically doesn't bring the soul back.
yeah, it's a spell that you and your coworkers use a lot.
Yeah, and I think as he's casting it, you can see that it is very much routine. Like, even though you guys were there when he got 3rd level spells, it's like, okay, here's the.
Mm-hmm. And you reach your hands out and you hold the sides of her head, and the spell goes, and you all see kind of. It's not that her body tenses or anything, or that she really moves, but her mouth kind of falls open, slack. And Aster, you can feel the magic thrumming through your hands into her body. What is your first
Okay.
question?
Here's the thing. Aster is inclined to ask her her name. Because that still leaves us with 4, which still lets us get most of the information we want.
I think that's fair.
I think so too.
So I think the first one Aster goes and just. What is your name?
When she speaks, her voice is airy, almost more like less like a voice and more just sort of like the sound of wind across something pockmarked.
Does that sound sort of how Aster's used to hearing it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can understand what she says. Anna Kazato.
Right. Why were you coming to? And again, Aster can remember the name, but I am Soup.
Eumesong.
Eumesong.
That's where I live.
Ask why they were camping.
And why were you camping? It's only a half day's out.
I was not camping. I was working.
Ah,
You could ask who they work for. Or who you were working for.
Yeah, I asked Joe, I'm making sure I have the right number correct. So her name, why were they going to Eumesong? Why were they camping?
There's 2 more left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you working for anyone specific?
Were you working for anyone specific?
We're gonna be happy with a yes or no though. It doesn't give us much information, but it gives us.
She says yes.
Okay. Now, out of character, what I am tempted to ask is about the gear they've got.
Mm-hmm.
And I am tabling that because that is the last question I get of this particular person. Well, unless I recast it.
if that's what you
What
would
if-
like to.
Either the gear or did they know the assassin lines were here? Is the question that's in mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm tabling it, I'm putting it to the table to ask.
I was thinking, like, if she, I was gonna say, like, contacts or something. I don't know, but that seems like a vague question and she might not answer it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Zone of Truth doesn't work with Speak with Dead because a corpse is considered an object. I have looked this up.
Shout out to a corpse being considered an object, by the way. That's going to be really funny in about 7 levels.
We need a homebrew spell called Death Truce, and it's
What?
just to speak true with the dead.
What spell are you getting in 7 levels?
That's for me to know and you to find out. You could also ask if there's something, if there's someone who should know she's dead, like if she lives in Eumesong, she might have people there.
Upon your
so
demise, who could we tell that you've perished?
Do you have someone like just
So,
who should
yeah.
know what happened to you? Who should be told something like that?
I think Alistair will ask that kind of question. I'm not sure how he words it, but he sort of knows the vibe of what he's after.
Mm-hmm. I do not wish for anyone to know for what I have died for.
Can we take a look at the young lady's neck specifically?
You can absolutely pull her chin back, Irene. Nothing there.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine.
And on that, Astra is going to let out a deep breath and let the magic fade. If we want more clarification, I can do that one more time.
What other markings would we be looking for? I guess, is there any, like, markings Alex would know to look for? Long shot question.
Make me a history check.
Yeah, if I remember, that's the better question. Ooh, that might not be terrible. 17?
Okay. So when it comes to the devils, the easy one is the black collar tattoo. But even then, that is only present on people of a certain, like, rank in the organization, people, like, above a certain level of disposable, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But it's pretty consistent. The other signs for, like, the devil specifically, often involve the types of poisons that they might have on them, and some of the most upper members have various last ditch safety measures to remove themselves from situations they really don't have a way out of. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
When it comes to the skulls, they, unlike the devils, are a little bit harder to spot in terms of anything concrete. Like the tattoo, for example. Instead, they kind of expect their members to, in one way or another, carry some sort of class with themselves. They like a nice sharp appearance, let's say. Especially when on official work. They tend to like metallic and shiny and classy, and there is definitely sort of like within the organization some expectations surrounding the appearance of wealth and success. And you know of people that have been done away with because they couldn't fit the appearance desired.
Wow.
Brutal.
Brutal. All right. That's just school dress code.
God.
EB.
But what that specifically means can vary, you know. What's classy for one area might be different in another area versus an individual. Like, it can be a little fluid what that specifically means.
So it sounds like it is just exhausting being a member of the Skulls.
There's a level of interskull politic that does not exist in the Devils. I will say.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Additionally, if you're talking about looking for smaller orgs, say a local city's like Independent Thieves Guild or something.
Yeah.
You're looking more for like the use of thieves' cant. You're looking more for usually they'll have some sort of signal between themselves, whether that's like a hand sign or a marked coin or something, right? Honestly, yeah, they would kill him the moment his tits came out.
Yeah, I knew it.
But what if he put like
What if it was
had
tasteful?
like his tits are out, but he's got like, you know,
What if
some
he's got
nice
nipple pasties?
Yeah, he's got like flesh colored paint. God damn it.
Yeah, they're like gold bejeweled. Like he's a slut. He's really rich.
What if he put down
got
his boobs?
He's got a bunch of necklaces that cover his tits, but only a little bit.
He shows his tits and he has like the designer top surgery scars.
Honestly, that might actually kind of vibe, but what
Oh my
Julius
God.
got going on with just the bare chest, no, that's
Yeah,
trashy.
also he's got a scar there, and I don't think they'd probably like that either.
No, the scar bumps it up a notch, I think.
Oh,
Because
it does?
it's hot.
Yeah, it is hot, that's the thing.
It can be a little, you know, goes with the trends. The Damascus family is known for being very on top of what is chic.
Nice. God, now I want Julius in chic clothing. Shit.
But if you're looking at something more local, it can be very more idiosyncratic. But your best bet is to look for people who understand thieves' cant and thieves' symbology.
All right. Oh, that works.
The nicety of this woman's things does stand out to you as being a little unusual for a random bandit group.
Yeah, they were. I'm willing to bet they were skulls.
How far away from the city is this?
3 hours?
About half a day.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
3 hours to half a day, depending on your walk.
Julius is just gonna sigh, because I assume Alex has kind of, like, told us, but he knows a little bit, right?
Nocturne BRB'd for a second.
Oh, okay.
I swear to fuck, if there's skulls in my goddamn city.
Either way, he's just gonna sigh and be like, I think I need to send a sending to, Shinohara later.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just sent one to her when we left. Great.
I had my headphones on. Yes, Alex would be relaying this information in kind of a like sort of like recounting what he knows way, so that like if a piece of information sticks out to anyone in particular, they can respond to it right then rather than rushing through it and risking people like forgetting stuff.
Gotcha.
Aster is kind of. I can ask the campers. I can see what they maybe know.
It's going to hurt you. Don't worry about it.
How about we... You know what? If we come back later, I'm sure the bodies will still be here. How about we go to, fuck. Name of place... Eumesong. How about we go to Eumesong first?
Let's just get home. That will be good. That will be good. We don't need to worry about
We'll
all
go
of
to
this right now.
Eumesong.
Let's just go.
We'll go to Eumesong, rest, and then if we need to talk to them later, we know where they are. As long as, nothing... whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, just let's if we happen to, you know, if let's not bring this up to my grandchildren. They're going to worry so much.
Aster nods, although there is something he does want to check the campus for.
Granny.
What are you looking for, Aster?
So, Speak with Dead specifically needs the corpse must still have a mouth. So he wants to make sure that the lower jaws are still intact. Because in a world where Speak with Dead exists, dealing with that is a damn good way to make sure the witnesses can't.
Yeah, it's easy to look at the the corpses around the camp, they all have their jaws intact, and as you are looking, you notice that just poking up from underneath one of their collars that has slipped, a bit of a thick black line.
Ah.
Hey, Jules.
Yeah.
Have a look at this.
He'll crouch down. Pull away the collar.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gonna look over at Ix. I think the devil's, got caught in some sort of trap here, too.
God damn it.
Did the crime organizations try to crime each other? Is that exactly what fucking happened here?
Look,
So fucking
I've
funny.
known for a
That's
little
out
while.
of character. But
This kind of makes sense to me, mostly to the fact that, you know, they know the devils are in the city and they've held it for a while. The Golden Skulls really fucking want the city, guys. It wouldn't surprise me if this was some sort of dispute that's going on.
That's just not good at all, is it?
And if there is a dispute going on and they're killing one another, then we should just let them do that.
Yeah, even with me, I'm not going to be stepping into this unless it's absolutely us falling into the shit at some point.
If they
know,
kill
as
one
soon
another,
as I-
we'll just clean up what's left.
Can we leave? Can we go, please?
Yes,
can
we
go.
can.
Let's get going.
What is it?
That feels.
What is it, Alex?
Nothing.
What does it seem like?
You know, I figured, like, as soon as I realized how close to the city we are, this had to be a trap, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we ought to just stay out of this as much as we possibly can.
I agree with
That
you.
sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah,
thought
this is not for fish of our caliber.
No, not in the slightest.
However, and he's gonna look at you, Granny. If worst comes to worst, your grandchildren might need to know. I'm not saying they need to know now, but if they're in any way in deeper shit,
They're not. I mean, not.
we're not gonna
Laura's
try and
fine
make
now.
it their
Laura's
problem.
alright now. So she's alright now because it's not a problem anymore. So there's no more. There's nothing more
Let's
to worry
not talk
about.
about it. Yeah, let's not talk about it for a little bit, right?
Let's just get home and not
Let's
talk
get
about this.
unshaken. Let's get unshaken from the fact plants tried to eat us.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't feel very
Good
good.
Very,
idea.
very
Yeah.
shaky.
Julius
they
is
really got
going.
you, Julius. Are you feeling all right?
He's gonna, like, give, like, one of those huff laughs and give you, like, a blinding smile and just be like, never better. Ow. No, I'll be fine with some rest. Maybe some tea or something. This happens. At least once a week. It'll be fine. I promise.
I'll get you some tea in a few hours, dearie. I've got some tea at home.
Thank you, Granny. He's gonna reach out and give you a little bit of a hug.
She hug back. So normal.
Yeah,
Granny walking.
Yeah, he does linger with it for a bit, cause there's a look in his eye that you know, concern.
Granny's freaking the fuck out. You don't even have to like have insight to know she's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
She's stressed. We are only 3 hours away from her hometown.
Yeah, I feel like he shares a look with Alex.
He
you want a rat to hold?
Yes. Yes, Nimija, that would be lovely.
Oh, I love
She'll
it so
pull a
much.
rat out of a hat. Don't squeeze
Granny.
it hard.
Well, of course not, dearie. I don't even think these bones could squeeze hard enough to hurt a rat. Granny will hold the rat.
It's a nice little rat. He kind of
Bless
sniffing.
her.
Oh,
Little guy.
just a little guy.
Does he have a name, Nima?
I don't usually name them. I don't know if it's the same rat always, or if it's a different rat every time.
Oh, that's
I
a
guess you
good
could name him if you want.
Oh, that's all right. I wouldn't presume to name your rat for you.
He's not my rat. He just lives in the hat.
Well, the hat's
He's
rat
his own
then.
man.
He's his own man. Well, good for him. Then I suppose I shouldn't try to name him either. Thank you, Nima.
Of course.
Getting back on the road is absolutely possible, and you sort of leave the site of this little incident, shall we say, behind.
Yeah.
And it is about 3 hours to a half a day. Irene, you're used to about half a day because you're on foot, but with the horses and the cart, it is closer to that 3 hour.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And you all sort of turn the corner around a cluster of trees, and you start to see some of the outlying farmlands, the longer rice paddies that surround Eumesong, built into the side of stepped hills. And you can see people out in the middle of these marshland fields, up to their knees in the water.
Marsh. In the bog.
In the bog, tending to the rice plants.
I wouldn't know anybody from this area, would I?
No, this
Okay.
is a bit northeast for you.
Okay. Rice paddy fields.
Once we're like in view of things, Granny is going to be giving you like, you know, the tour guide experience, like, here's this and here's this and this happened. I remember when this was built back in, you know, it must have been 6 or 7 decades ago now, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Julius is listening, but he's looking around to see how we're being received, if people are even looking in our direction.
What you start to come upon, as little clusters of buildings start to get a little more and more clustered and bigger and a little bigger, Eumesong, you discover, is sitting somewhere on that precipice between large town and small city. And you can see the small road that you use joins up with a bit of a bigger road. And while it is not crowded with traffic in the same way Horitari was, it is relatively well populated. You are suddenly seeing anything from single travelers to trade caravans making their way in and out. And though occasionally people will look up and watch sort of the crowd go by, it is more as if they are simply people watching for a second in a pause in their field work, rather than, you know, watching you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
They seem used to this kind of traffic. And the city in front of you is much smaller than Horitari, smaller than a Haksan, but The buildings are nicely spaced. They're well built and sturdy and very much meant for this, like, adjacent to marsh life. It's loud. It's not loud, but there's noise in the street. There is no gate or walls in the same way there is with Hoxana Horitari, and instead you just kind of walk past a more and more clustering settlement until suddenly you find yourself in the city. You pass cafes and tea shops and butcheries and a small little, what looks like a daycare center with a bunch of little kids running around in the yard. There are people sort of talking to each other, like in corners, like one person leaning against a wall out of the way of the main street, which is nicely sort of paved with even bricks. At one point you pass what looks like a much larger complex, and it looks like the people walking between buildings here look like young adults, students with books sort of strapped under their arms or in bags, gently talking to one another, or there's one person with their books sort of scattered on the grass. And Irene kind of perks up a little bit at this.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is your university, Irene. You know that place like the back of your hand.
Granny is absolutely going even harder on the this is my place. I remember these facts about it from many, many years ago.
She points out one building that's sort of tucked up against a couple of trees, and she mentions that's the library she worked in the majority of her adult life.
Julius is very attentive, unexpectedly so. He's the type of guy that fucking loves tours.
I'll take you all to the library. Perhaps tomorrow or another day. Just, it's really such a lovely. It's always been such a special place. But the people working there now are just so lovely, and it's just you'll all like it. It's just a good little environment. I worked there for so many years. I don't think I'd have retired if I hadn't, it hadn't worked out better for me to do so. But it's just, it's good to be home.
It is so different from Horitari and its bustling crowds. You know there must be a lot of people living here, but in a lot of ways it doesn't feel like it. And Irene leads you not quite through City Square. You don't have to go through City Square to get to where Irene lives. But the neighborhood, she turns you down, and PK, at any point, if I say anything about this city that you disagree with, let me know.
Alright.
But it's a very quiet sort of side street with these houses that are 1 or 2 floors maybe, large yards, some taken up with long stretches of vegetable gardens, a couple of them, not even a couple, a good maybe 40-50% of them have little structures in that way of like little children's like playhouses that you can see either in the front or backyards. There are a couple you pass where you can see dogs on tethers lashed to a tree or a post of the house. Some of them bark at you as you pass by. There's one kind of dopey old basset hound that doesn't really get up and just kind of watches you go. from beneath like these sagged wrinkles.
Grind, do you have a dog?
Oh, a dog. Do you think Snowball would get along with a dog?
Well, I might as well ask. She might have been a different cat.
Well, no, the children actually originally asked me for a puppy when they were just little, and the thing about dogs is there's just it's so many of them. I get so very large. Even the small ones are quite large when you're the children had human classmates who all had dogs, and I don't think they understood quite how large dogs get. Or maybe they did and they just quite weren't bothered by it. But no, Snowball's never been the fun. That's Baxter back there. Snowball got in a fight with Baxter once.
I assume she won.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Oh, good night, Amy.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Rest well, Amy.
Bye.
Bye.
Irene and Julie shaking hands on being homeowners.
Yes. If somebody intervened before Altruina really could be declared in either case, but Snowball does say she would have won anyway, and Baxter didn't really want to. I would say they were without flaw and fault, but I don't think.
All bark, no bite.
One of them initiated more than the other, and I just. Anyway, Baxter's a good dog, but no, I've never had a dog together. They're quite large. Even the small ones. I know there's some very small ones, but the very small ones are also very,
They have a personality.
Yes, and the kids were just little, and I didn't want them to get nipped out or anything, and I just figured a cat would be better, and then, cats have a longer lifespan anyway, especially when they're Snowball, because dogs just don't really live that long when you compare them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, all these classmates who had puppies, they were human, so they'd grow up, and by the time they were adults, their dogs would, maybe they'd pass, but, like
gnomes here? It's mostly humans?
It's not that there's not a lot of names, it's just that there's a fair mix. Obviously there's a fair few gnomes, but just more. In regards to dogs, I don't think I know any gnome families who had dogs. Certainly not any with children.
I think that's fair.
Young children. Anyway, my goodness, here, we're getting all distracted again. Let's go.
And Irene, this is a time of day where it's just before school let out, but not quite yet. So most everyone's at school or at work, so the houses are quiet. You see a couple, of the stay-at-home moms, maybe in a window, or chatting on the porch, and you do attract a slight more amount of attention down here in these suburb streets almost.
Mm-hmm.
Not out of suspicion, but just, that's a big cart.
Yeah.
And that's not really what comes down these streets. And Irene, a little bit that, some of the moms are going to be a little gossipy, especially when they see it pull up to your house.
Yeah. I'm sure they've been gossipy about the fact that I've been gone for weeks anyway, months even, rather.
Yeah.
Bitches are gonna be gossiping no matter if I rocked up into town on foot, in a cart, on a unicorn, whatever. They were always gonna gossip.
Although I think there is something very powerful about the idea of rocking up on a unicorn.
Yeah.
It would be a power move.
We
Granny
are
Marvin
horses.
showing up after months of being on the road, TM.
We are showing up with horses in a cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's not out of a suspicion, but more in that, lazy,
Oh shit, you wouldn't believe what I just saw.
Yeah. And, Irene, I will when you turn a corner, it's sort of into this sleepy little cul-de-sac, and sort of tucked in one of the corners is this house that looks quiet. And PK, I will let you describe Irene's home.
It looks like here's the thing about Irene's home. It was once a 2-story home for gnomes. It is now a 1-story home for gnomes plus. It's a nice it's clearly had a fair bit of renovation done. It's not a sparkly new home, but it is well loved. It is purple.
Yes.
The roof definitely slopes very, very low towards the edges. Alex is going to have to bend almost double to just get into the house because of just it's not designed for people of his stature. It was a 2-story house for gnomes that has been redesigned, and not with all the money in the world. It has a little garden that is surprisingly well taken care of because I believe one of Scrap Happy was looking after her garden for her. Sorry. And it is got nice little round windows. It is very quaint. It looks like a grandmother's house. Just, it's not shabby. It's not super glorious or glamorous, but it looks like Irene's house. And she will go up to the door and let you guys in. When you step in, again, you can clearly see that there was once a floor, or rather a ceiling, at a very different height than the ceiling now is. They had to just renovate that completely, and now sort of the seam where there was once a ceiling / floor on most walls, it has been converted into like shelves that run all the way around, but in some spots you can clearly see that it was not that originally. On this shelf that sort of goes around the whole of the entrance that you can see and into the other rooms, are just dozens and dozens of little paintings and pictures and things like that. And I don't know how houses are arranged. Irene's got a house. It's got some rooms in it. Like, I don't have powers of description. I'm not a describer. But
the vibe is very your grandmother's house.
This is your grandma's house.
Julius
If your grandma had a family full of people who were max 3'3", and then one day her son had a baby who was half elf and was therefore going to grow up to be a lot taller, and so they needed to change things that.
Julius is taking his shoes off at the door.
As you should. You are required to do so. Granny expects this of you.
Granny
She does drop Snowball off immediately from her neck, and Snowball makes herself right at home. You also see, like, probably just within eyesight of like that entrance, within like looking at the rooms adjacent, you can see 4 different Snowball beds easily distributed in various locations. Snowball goes to lay on one of the shelves instead.
I think also just to kind of if you go searching in the house, there is an extra bedroom that is now full of the biggest cat tree we've ever seen.
Yes, it's real.
Amazing.
Love that.
Very true. She is laying on the shelf because she's a cat.
This is the home that you enter. Various levels of stooping to get through the front door. But it's homey. It is warm, especially once Irene stokes the small little fireplace to sort of, though the temperature does not need the fire, it's lighting the fireplace when you return home. There is a stack of mail.
Unsurprising.
A couple of stacks big. On the dining room table.
Oh, Ina was picking up my mail for me. That's so sweet. I'm glad she remembered. Sometimes she's a bit scatterbrained, but the garden looks wonderful. Quincy must have been by. Oh yes, okay. Alex, dear, let me get you some cushions so you can sit. So you don't have to stoop. I know it's not for your back.
Thank you.
Irene, get cushion for Alex to sit on. Cozy.
Sit.
There.
Go for it.
There is a perfectly sized little, picture the most grandma rocking chair you've ever pictured, but it's gnome sized. So it looks like a little kid rocking chair.
Incredible.
That is by the fireplace.
Amazing.
And as you are all sort of taking in this, lovely little home, there's a knock at the front door.
Oh, goodness, already. All right.
Irene goes to the door.
Irene, you open it, and it is your great-granddaughter, Aura.
Oh, hello, dearie. Oh, my goodness.
And you all sort of turn, and the woman at the door, is a half-elf woman. Easily, she's short for a half-elf. She's probably only 5'2". But very much still a half-elf. Sort of slim, dressed in this kind of olive, dull olive green kimono with a sky blue sort of obi and trimmings. Long black hair that is sort of wrapped up into a low bun. Face full of just kind of very neutral makeup tones. She has a sort of a little hip pouch on her right hip. And sort of wearing a bit of a shawl up around her shoulders and her neck. And you all watch, this polite but barely contained, anger, immediately, fade from her face, and she looks a little surprised for a second as she looks down and she goes, Grandma Irene.
Hello, I was just about to call you.
She sort of walks in the door. You can hear her little wooden shoes kind of against the floor. And she shuts the door behind and just, you gave me a heart attack. And she kneels, sort of squats down far enough so she can give her grandmother a hug.
Irene hugs her so tight.
And then just, I'm so sorry, dearie. I'd meant to call as we were getting into town. And then I was, giving, the tour. I wanted to talk about the library. It slipped my mind. And then I was just sitting down to give you a call and let you know that I'd gotten back. I'm so sorry.
So you know that Aura lives a couple of houses down?
Yeah.
So she probably saw.
Yeah, probably saw cart rock up to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Made some assumptions, which are very reasonable assumptions.
And she squeezes you and she goes, that's all right. I'm so glad to see you home. And she sort of pulls back and has both of her hands on your shoulders.
I've got souvenirs for you. I've got so much to tell you about it. Oh my goodness, how have you been, darling?
I've been good. I'm sorry, we?
Oh, yes, so I mentioned, I had some traveling companions, just sort of who ended up with me on the journey, and they're staying here for just a little bit, and so, oh my goodness, yes, I need to introduce you all.
And this woman follows Irene into the living room where you all are sort of gathered and clumped.
I feel like we probably had a pot of tea going too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
And she kind of, the word you would use to describe Aura Martin is average. At least
my bland granddaughter. I love my bland granddaughter.
In just her appearance, the way she kind of puts her hands like in fists on her hips and like looks over you all.
Mm-hmm.
There's this kind of a little bit of a sharpness to the edge of in terms of like, who the fuck are you? Like,
Julius is going to be on his best behavior. Just nice smiles. Puts down the tea and is just, hello.
hi.
All right, everyone. This is my great-granddaughter, Aura. Aura, this is, oh my goodness, where to even start? Oh, you should all introduce yourselves.
Right. Very nice to meet you, Aura. I'm Julius. Hold out his hand to have her shake if she wants.
She'll shake your hand. Her grip is fine.
That's alright. And he'll step back to let the rest of y'all introduce yourselves. Pick back up his tea and take a sip.
I'm sure Nagi is like, I'm Nagi.
You're damn right she's like, I'm Nagi, because she's not for sure saying she's Arvin Marvin.
Yeah, the hat of disguise has been confiscated.
That was forbidden.
Aster will sort of a little bit of a bow and Ashley, it's nice to meet you.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
She just says hello.
Fucking 15-year-old child taking her off guard.
A little bit.
I'm Nimmer.
For you. Looks at you, Alex.
Hi.
Hi. She's still looking at you expectantly.
Alex.
Alex. Ixalia, as probably Ixalia, I'll just put a pin in that. And she sort of looks over all of you. She looks like she's a half-elf, so, slightly extended age span. So she looks a little bit like maybe she's in her mid-30s, but probably Pager actually a little bit older than that. and she just sort of, well, you certainly are an eclectic lot.
Hey, they're just wonderful.
you.
They've had such interesting. It's been such an interesting time. Oh my goodness, I've got so much to tell you about.
I can't wait to hear it.
Can I vibe check Aura?
Sure, roll an insight.
Yeah, I think I'd like to as well.
That
Oh,
interesting seemed a little bit loaded. And Asta's like, oh, okay, how are we?
I rolled real bad.
So 6 and 13.
Yeah.
Julius, you're kind of struggling to get a bit of a read on her. You're too busy trying to be so normal and good.
I'm not a crime boss. I'm not a crime boss. I'm not a crime boss.
You're so normal right now.
I'm
Speaking
so
of,
fucking normal.
Aster with the 13, it seems like she's trying to figure out if any of you are crime bosses. But in that, like, very much like... So you think about what this is from her perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Her grandmother went on a vacation, disappeared for a while, was not where she was supposed to be, and then came home with a bunch of randos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what the problem is.
I am gonna say Julius does have his hair down, so his tattoo is not visible. Because we are only a few hours out of Horitari. Somebody will know what the fuck his tattoo is, so...
Or a few days
few
out of
days,
Horitari, to
but
be fair.
yeah, I think somebody...
Yeah.
Well, still.
Very fair.
The vibe you are getting is she's trying to vibe check and figure out what the fuck happened and who you all are without, like, possibly setting off, I don't know, kidnappers, mercenaries, scammers? She doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you'd like to sit down and have tea with us, I'm sure we can make some more. Right.
That would be lovely, actually. And he will
Granny?
take a seat.
Granny is going to start open up her bag, and she has prepped a little gift bag because I've decided she did this and it seems in character. So she has a gift bag with her all the souvenirs she picked up. So she had like a nice like obi and like some pretty earrings that she picked up in like some silver earrings and Straits Gallows, I think. And, you know, just a couple little, like, trinkets and things that she got while souvenir shopping. Any postcards that she got that she has written about things on and give to granddaughter.
She takes this gift and she says, "Thank you, Grandma." And she looks genuinely, like, affectionate and, like, beloved grandmother.
Thank you, beloved grandmother. Back to the criminals in your house.
Yeah, essentially. And she puts it very polite and neatly in her lap. She will also accept the tea that Julius pours her.
Excellent.
And she goes, "So, I'm, right, I'm Aura. I'm Irene's granddaughter. How did you all meet?"
In a spa.
Yeah, there was an unfortunate accident, just in, you know, a bad thing with the actual hotel itself. We ended up having to get new rooms, and it just so happened we ended up going in the same place.
Oh,
Do you remember how I told you I was so excited to go try those hot springs in Joxenham?
yes, I do.
Well, there was something wrong with the hot springs in Joxenham, and the inn ended up getting quite problematically damaged. So yes, they put us all up in a different place for the night, and there wasn't a lot of room because of all the overflow. So we ended up meeting there, and then we all were talking about travel plans, and it just so happened to work out that we were going in the same general direction, and I tagged along with them, as it were. They've all been very good to me.
Irene was too charming to, everything she talked about was very interesting, and I kind of wanted to go with, to be fair. She showed me a lot of the things in her scrapbook that were very interesting.
Oh, I talked his ear off, I'm sure. Oh, Snowball's here. Snowball, come see Arma, dear.
Aura, Snowball is so good kitty, nice kitty for Aura.
The best kitty ever, purring in her lap.
Aww.
She does say hello to Snowball and starts giving Snowball some scritches, which is something some of you have never been able to do. And she's just, I'm glad no one was hurt.
Yes, it all ended up being very, very small of a concern on our part, really. But then, I wonder how they're doing. It really, the renovation, reconstruction must be, unfortunately, challenging.
I'd really
write
been
a letter
hoping
and
I
check
could
in.
have used longer in that hot springs. I think I only got a day before they had to close. It was so unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. I mean, it was such a treat, too.
Julius nods, sips his tea.
But then, then they ended up sort of going off to Haksan, and I was, looking at my itinerary, and I thought, well, Paland can be delayed by a little bit. I'll just go to Haksan instead with them because I'm having such a nice time with them. So then I ended up there, and then it was almost time for the Harvest Festival, so back to Horitari, and oh my goodness, it's just been so busy.
Right. And you all were going to Haksan for... She kind of trails off in like a prompted question.
Yeah.
My
I'll
feel when
answer
I,
that.
out of character, don't remember why we went to Haksan.
Yeah, same.
Oh shit.
I know we wanted
I
to
don't
do
actually
ghosts
remember
when
why
we
we
got
went to Haksan.
there.
Hold on, let me look at my notes. I was furiously scrolling past 30 fucking
was-
pages, like...
That was like 2 years ago.
Why
Best class
it literally was 2
Oh my
years ago.
God,
Why did we go
hold
to
on.
Haksan, guys?
That's DPC shit. Okay, let's see.
Parker really put us on the fucking spot.
God, hold on, we gotta go back, like,
Jesse, we
to
just can't
session
remember.
10. Yeah, we have to go back to session 10, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that was about the Chimera, but we don't want to talk about that. Hold on.
Yeah, we're not talking about any adventure shit.
Let's see.
Yeah, Granny did say you're allowed to describe you guys doing adventurous stuff as long as she doesn't get mentioned.
Yeah. Well, there was a point where we had dealt with a Chimera on the road. I'm trying to remember.
The facial expression she makes.
It was a lot of them. Honestly, me and Irene kind of stayed back. It was really scary.
Yes, it was very. But these folks, Alex and Julius and Ix and Nagi, and they're all very actually very good at that sort of thing. So it wasn't like Ashley and I were in any danger at all.
Julius nods. We were dealing with an issue that was harrowing quite a lot of people, so we wanted to get that done as quickly as possible.
So you're adventurers or mercenaries?
I guess I don't
Yes,
really
you
know.
are.
A lot of us are more
Yes.
travelers, but we do some work of helping out for coin here and there, or on our own machinations if it will help other people, I suppose.
It's all very exciting to hear about.
Yes,
So
we
then I
had quite a few
presume-
stories for Irene.
So I presume then you're not with a guild or anything.
No, usually freelance work.
Just out of the goodness of your own hearts?
I mean, as long as it fills our bellies. It's actually quite nice to travel.
Would you make a group persuasion check?
Yeah!
Can Granny give them advantage because she's trying so
Oh,
hard?
fuck yeah!
You are keeping them from having disadvantage.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
that's fair.
I have a really
Everyone's-
good persuade. You said persuasion, right?
Yes.
Oh, I rolled
Persuasion?
a 17
Group
plus.
persuasion, yes.
Okay, so everyone roll.
Yes.
I'll be
Well,
right
that's
back in a
not
second.
good.
I'm gonna actually grab a dice.
Alex is
25.
just sitting there silently, so it makes sense that I rolled bad. I didn't roll
I'm
that
grabbing
bad.
a dice.
I didn't roll that bad, and I have proficiency in this. Okay, this roll is slightly
yeah.
saved.
So 17 on the dice for a dirty 20 for Asta.
Okay.
Wait, no, hold on. This is is that more? No, it's not more. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay.
Persuasion from Nagi and one from Ix as well.
Look at all those 20s.
You're doing so good. Manifesting, doing good.
I rolled those as GM. I did not mean to roll those as GM. But those are 24 from Nagi and 19 from Ix.
Nice.
Whoa.
Doing so good.
Hell yeah.
So she kind of looks over the lot of you.
Also, probably while we were in, Asta would have absolutely left most of his gear in the cart.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to sell the I am a trainee cleric.
Mm-hmm. She sort of looks over the lot of you. And I won't say it's like she suddenly relaxes and everything's great. But she's sort of... There is very clearly this sharp sort of judging eye that she turns over all of you one at a time. And she turns to Irene and she just... Well, these are some interesting traveling companions for you, Granny.
Oh, yes, that's such good fun. It's so good, make some new friends.
And you can all kind of feel like some of the edge of her suspicion is dulled.
Yay.
You haven't entirely won her over.
That's fair.
I shouldn't offer her a rat.
No.
Yeah, do not.
That'd be so funny.
But she's no longer considering, like, talking to the authorities.
Oh
She's
god.
not convinced that
Hey,
Granny's in,
we'll
like,
take she's not considering talking to the authorities.
yeah.
Like, yeah, she's a little more like, okay, we'll see where this goes for a minute. She does ask a few more questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how was the harvest festival? She heard that it was a little bit of a mess.
Yeah,
this
I'm
year.
not quite sure why it was that way, but you know.
It wasn't, I've seen so many of them. I do hate to say it, there have been far better organized and arranged, and there have been better harvest festivals, but, when I think about it, I've gone every year for how many years. And I don't remember another time when it's been sort of disastrous is too big of a word. I've never, it's just they've never messed it up in any sort of large capacity. The whole time I've been going. So sometimes you'll slip a little bit, and that's okay. Everyone slips sometimes.
I'm hoping it's a
down
little
in the
more
end.
grander next year. I don't know.
There were some very exciting art pieces, though.
Yes, I agree. Some of those are really interesting. I
Got
like the
some
ones that were kind of like
good-
that shiny, that color. I'm not sure what they did with it, but it looked really nice.
Oh, yes, the shimmering. Yes, oh my goodness, it was marvelous.
The food was on point too, I'd say.
Oh yes, it always is.
Mm-hmm.
Julius and Ashley, though, they're artists as well. Julius paints, and Ashley does clay.
Julius nods.
It's something I'm still practicing.
You've got years to practice, dearie.
Well, that's I'm not an artist myself, so I suppose good for the both of you.
Appreciate it.
And I've been talking so much, dearie. How have you been?
Oh, I've been all right. Nothing exciting. Just sort of you know how it is. The day's
yes.
just going.
Just as usual, I suppose. That's good. That's good. Glad nothing big has happened or anything. That would be.
No. Some of your scrapbooking friends were by a bit worried about you.
Yes, no, I really meant to contact them more. I think I only contacted Ina just the once to let her know, but that was sometime. I should let them know. Oh goodness, I should contact Ando.
Those of you with higher passive insights, so like Alex, Aster, and Nagi, Irene mentions this Ando person, and Aura's expression tightens just a little bit.
She's not mad at us.
Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Oh, well, Ando is... I'm sure he's doing whatever it is he does."
Yes, but I want to let him know that I'm in town, and then he's probably busy, so he won't come by until he's done. I'll make sure he knows he doesn't need to worry or rush or anything or be here. But I want to let him know. I feel so bad I didn't let you know first thing. I really ought to let him know.
Really, I'm sure he's fine.
Well, he doesn't like it when I just pop by unannounced, so it's not like I'm going to just go do that because, it's busy. He's always busy around this time.
I never
Ando,
know
your
with what.
grandchildren?
Oh yes, Ando. That's Aura's cousin, Ando. Ando is my great grandson, on the other side. So, Aura's mother was my granddaughter Adeline, who was the daughter of my son Eli, and my son Leon had a son Amiel, who had his son Ando. So, how does it work? Second cousins.
Yes, second cousins.
Second cousins. Yes, goodness.
Nin has that I understand it completely, does not understand it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On her
Julius
face.
is trying to. Julius, I feel, understands it. I, however, do not because family trees.
Yes.
One of them is descended from one of her sons, and the other one is descended from the other one of her sons.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like I get it because there's like second cousins that I have that I just call my cousins.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I know there's distinction, but
They're just
It's
my
about-
cousins.
How many generations you count up until your link
Gotcha.
But
She goes, well, you know, Ando, he is usually very busy with his friends, and, you know, I just...
When she said friends,
Make an insight check.
are you asking if my granddaughter is slut shaming her cousin?
no, I was thinking like crime shit.
She's slut-shaming her cousin.
Okay. That's better then. She can slut shame him, I guess.
She very clearly does not have a very favorable impression of Ando and his friends.
Now I want to meet Ando.
And she goes, I suppose, you know, it is better to let him know you're safe, but I don't really think you should really bother him right now.
Well, I can just, I'll just send him a quick sending. It won't take any time at all, and then he'll just know that I'm back in town.
Right, you'll send him a sending, right?
Yes, I'll send him a sending. And Granny
And,
sits.
I didn't know that was a spell you knew, Granny.
Oh, yes, I didn't. I learned it. It's very exciting. I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks, you know.
Right, and when did you learn it?
Oh, it was something I picked up, you know, during all this travelling. When these lovely folks have been sort of up and about doing things, I've sort of, you know, been trying to study a little bit more and get my head around some of the things that I couldn't before. Because what else am I going to do? You know, there's only so much sightseeing I can do on these old bones.
Make a deception check.
Yeah,
There's also something I only just learned as well. From Irene as well. A little bit.
Oh man, Julius, you gotta not help in this situation. I don't think that's helpful. I think that sounds more sus.
Shrug.
18.
She accepts this for now.
That's all I can ask.
Oh, but it'll just be quick, and then it won't be a bother. I'll just let him know.
Okay.
Irene is going to sit, and she is going to say, I should actually double check that this is, I have not, I was just gonna like freehand it, but I can't do that genuinely, so give me 1 second.
Aster is very much projecting, like, I'm a little bit anxious around new people.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Irene sits and she casts and says, "Hello, Ando dear, I'm home. Just getting settled back in. Hour's over now. It's been a long day on the road. Love you, dearie."
The response is like after a heartbeat, and you get very, sorry, I'm trying to think about how he's gonna phrase this.
Fair.
Glad to hear it, Grandma. I'm busy right now. You should come by in like 2 hours. I want to see you.
Alright, cool.
All right. Okay, he's busy as, you know, I expect that. I'll go over there a little bit later and see him.
I mean, you know, he's probably with his friends right now, Granny. I don't know if
Oh, he said I should come over in a couple of hours.
Oh, he did?
Yes, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure it's he won't be too busy. I know he'd never ask me over if I was going to, intrude on his me time or his friends' time or any of that.
Well, it would be a shame to disappoint Ondo now, wouldn't it?
I've got some souvenirs for him too. I've got to give him the whole rundown. Oh, goodness gracious, it's so good to be home.
Yes. She kind of lets out a breath. I'm going to get out of the salt zone.
Climb out the pits.
It is very, very... I'm very glad to see you home, Grandma.
I'm so glad to see you too. I'm sorry I didn't keep in touch as well as I should have on the road. I did try. I thought the sending would make me better at keeping in touch, but I think I just got more distracted.
Well,
You're
home. You're home now, and she kind of looks out the window at where the sun is in the sky, and she's like, "Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I have some folks coming over.
Yes, of course you should go. You should go. I need to go get to the market and get groceries anyway. I've got nothing in the house, so you should go spend time with your friends. And come over whenever. I'll be around, except when I guess I'm going to go visit Ondo this evening. But yes, of course you should go, dearie. Of course.
Do you want me to go get groceries for you since you just got home, so you can rest?
No. You've got friends coming over, dear.
She looks a little caught in it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about old Granny.
No. She gives you that look, TM, which is the aura, like, don't even try, don't even say that to me.
Don't do that, not now.
Julius is going to stay quiet.
And while Aura is a little more animated, you can see some of the similarities between the expressions between her and Irene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there is a genuine fondness and love from Aura. That is pretty obvious. And she just, okay, just don't push yourself, okay? You just got him.
Yeah, I won't. I'll be careful. I'll take all these young people with me and make them carry my groceries. What a scam I'm running.
She laughs a little bit. She does want a hug from you.
Irene hugs her back. Snowball, I think, does do the thing like that cats do when they're comfy and you start to get up and they dig their claws in a little bit.
Dastardly creature.
I'll be by in the morning.
Oh yes, good.
All right. And she looks at all of you and just, it was a pleasure to meet all of you.
You as well, Aura.
It's nice to meet you.
I suppose
We'll be seeing you around?
Yeah, I suppose. All right. And she's going to head out, and she does live only a couple of houses down. So it's relatively easy to watch her enter kind of this little first floor ranch.
Yes.
Irene does the thing that I don't know if everybody's grandparents do this, but this is a universal for me. She will literally stand in the doorway and like wave until you are out of sight. So she waves until Aura is in her house. Even if Aura is not looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Mine usually just
Comes
stand
brought
and
to you by
wait.
2 of my grandmothers.
Mine basically just stand in the doorway and wave a little, and then watch until you get in your car, and then they go back inside.
Must be waved at.
Grandparents gotta wave.
Literally.
Well, she seems nice.
She's lovely. I think she liked you.
It could have been
Probably,
worse.
I think that would be good. She's such a dear.
The thing about Irene's house is that there does have to be a little bit of Tetris in
Yeah.
terms of who is staying where.
Yeah. The snowball bedroom can be reconverted into a people can stay in this space.
But will Snowball allow that? Is the question.
That is the question.
Snowball is grumpy, but if Irene asks very nicely.
And Irene would if it is necessary, which it's going to be because she doesn't have that many rooms.
Julius would rather not sleep in the snowball room just because he would rather play body Tetris with somebody than have to deal with Snowball chewing up bugs in his, like, shoes or his shirts.
That is an active danger of the snowball room.
It truly is. Irene will suggest, because the snowball room was one of her children's old bedrooms, and the non-snowball room is her spare bedroom. So spare bedroom is an option.
I'd prefer the spare bedroom along with someone else, I'm sure.
Yes, I don't know how it will fit everybody unless people share.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine with stealing the snowball room if necessary.
In any case, it takes you the 2 hours to Tetris yourselves.
To literally just figure out where people are staying.
Because again, this is your grandmother's house, and it is small.
Mm-hmm.
Family
Yeah.
reunion.
No, I have been in these houses. There is either one or two rocking chairs and a small seating room that can fit maybe 4 people.
Yeah.
And a kitchen about the same size. Or worse.
Irene, when it's getting close to the 2 hours, she is like,
All right. Andre wanted me to come over.
In a few hours, right?
it's taken 2 hours to figure out the Tetris.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would the markets still be open? Because Nadia and I can go pick up groceries and...
If you want to do that, that's just fine, dear. Yes, I want to. I just wasn't. Maybe I want him to meet you all, of course. But maybe yes, I'll just go over, and then you all, if you want to pick up groceries or stay here, or you could come over. I'm sure I just would have to let him know, so I don't surprise him.
Do you want company, Granny?
Yeah, it's all right either way. I just don't want to, leave you, alone in a house where you don't have anything to do. You should have things to do. I mean, there's things to do around here, but I don't know what young people do around here.
I'll go with you, Granny. I need to stretch my legs.
All right.
And you all set off. Now in the evening when children are home, there are a couple of groups sort of running around the yards and the streets. That after the after-school play session.
Gotta get the zoomies out before dinner.
Gotta get the zoomies out before dinner.
Yeah.
This time you do end up going through city center. Because Ando does live a considerable way across town. And none of you are quite sure what you're expecting. Maybe someone like Ara, but the neighborhood Irene starts to lead you into starts to kind of upscale a little bit.
Oh.
the ranch and 2-story houses start to kind of expand. First horizontally and then upwards. There's a couple of houses you pass that are 3 stories tall. They start to have a little bit nicer gardens with clearly some professional landscaping done. One of them has an outdoor water feature.
Ooh.
And then as you get further into the neighborhood, it upscales again. And no, you're not looking at, like, the highest parts of, like, the Twilight District. But in comparison to the rest of Eumesong, this place is money.
Irene would send a sending as they were sort of heading out, like, coming over now. Still a good time, dearie. My friends are coming along with me. Wanted to see more of the city.
You get a... Oh, thanks for the heads up. I can't wait to meet them as well.
Cool.
As we're walking, Julius just kind of like leans over to Granny a little bit and is just like, so what does Ando do?
Oh, you know, he's always been very good with numbers and things.
That doesn't really explain it, but sure.
But I don't know what the actual name is if I'm perfectly honest, Julius, I don't. The thing is, all of these jobs used to have different names.
You know, 2 centuries ago, things were plain and clear. You know, you were a librarian, or a teacher, or an accountant, or a shopkeeper, or anything like that. And now there's just all sorts of things that people do and different skills. And if you look at what somebody puts on a resume these days, I mean, what even is Microsoft Excel? But just, you know.
Microsoft now canon in Enjira?
I'm so sorry, I couldn't think of a different, like, fake skill that people put on their resumes.
I'm sorry.
Irene just...
When you were talking about that, my one thing was like the thing where people call themselves an accountant, but they're actually a sex worker. That's where my brain went right away.
Oh yeah, look, I don't expect that much more, but the terrible possibility of burning in my mind Ando is a crypto bro.
He's either a crypto bro or a whore, so, you know.
I prefer
well, I mean,
whore.
whores provide a valuable service, so
Yeah.
he's a whore.
Significantly more.
Anyways.
The house that you end up pulling up to. It is pretty large. I actually have to change the music because his place has a whole.
My boy has a soundtrack?
Oh god.
there it is.
Oh god.
He sort of, it's a very large, sort of sprawling affair. Only 2 stories, but impressively large on either side. With sort of vibrantly painted, like, wooden support structures, like, with the turning upwards of the roof. There are 2 lion guardian statues on the outside, even. And you can see the garden, the lawn in front is less a garden and more... There are some very nice flower beds with some very nice stone features in the middle of it. But then there's a fountain off to one side that sort of trails down into this nice sort of lagoon-like pool that sort of curves around the back of the house. The outside is like there are 2 flags hung up from the first like little outcropping of the roof. One the Chalassian flag and the other the Polundian flag. And you can see now some of the stonework is Polundian in style, which to translate Greek.
God damn.
A very, very traditional, like, ancient Greek.
Like columns and frescoes and stuff.
Yes.
God.
In fact, the whole thing is kind of a fusion between, like, traditional Chalassian architecture and, like, Greek artistic style. It very much stands out on the street for this.
Mm-hmm.
But credit where credit's due, it kind of goes off.
Julius is like looking at it and he's like thinking to himself, man, maybe I should have done those renovations that I wanted to do to my home, but I stuck to the traditional shit. I should have went with that koi pond in the backyard.
Julius is having house envy.
Just a little, but he's never had a lot of money, so like, shrug.
I don't know if Nin's ever seen this style of architecture before, even.
Probably not. This is wild.
It has Alex?
Yeah. Again, this is Polundian. So it's kind of rare in the areas of the world that you have seen, but you know, there will be like Polundian quarters of cities sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a little weird for it to be the only place on the street that looks like this.
Yeah.
But considering he has both flags up,
Oh yes, dual citizen, but pretentious about it.
quite possibly.
That is not an ask to comment. That is Joe.
Yeah, but like that's kind of the like possibly, you know, maybe he's just fusing his two cultures. The house is lit up inside. And as you get closer, you can hear voices. Irene, you knock on the door.
I do knock on the door.
And there's a moment, and the door opens, and the guy that greets you is sort of this larger human gentleman, sort of in this, like, sleek silver kimono.
Oh god.
With these sort of trailing tattoos you can see up the collarbone that disappear down the sleeves. Very, very broad-shouldered, well-muscled, a short sword strapped to his side, and he looks at all of you, and then he looks down and he sees Irene and he goes, "Oh, hi, Miss Marvin."
Hello, dear. Is on doing?
Yep. And he kind of steps aside and lets Irene in, and then he kind of, "These your friends?"
Yes, yes.
Alright. And he kind of gives each and every single one of you like a look up and down.
Julius
When he gets
Go
to Alex, Alex waves.
He kind of
It's a long look up and down for Alex.
Yeah.
He kind of tilts his head a little bit and then kind of gives like a little bit of like a nod, like kind of an acknowledgement. But he doesn't stop any of you from entering. But you can feel him sort of size you up.
Julius is attempting to look as non-threatening as possible, but it's just an act.
Kind of hard.
It's very much in the realm of I'm not a crime boss. I'm not a crime boss.
I'm so fucking normal.
Yeah. I'm just a guy.
So normal.
And the voices inside get louder. And you can't hear them like distinctly, you don't know what they're saying, but they're kind of talking and sort of rough over one another in some back room. And you are let inside, and the guy at the door shuts it. Irene, you recognize him, you don't know his name though.
That's fair. Irene calls him Deary every time, and he's never corrected her, so that's where we're at.
He shuts the door, and you see him stride back into the back room, and then you hear the voices kind of hush, and you hear him say something, and then you hear the scrape of a chair, and the voices kind of start talking again, and then you hear another one kind of shut them up, and you all kind of filter into a living room that Irene, I think, knows exactly where it is, just off to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And the man that walks in, first off, he is indeed a gnome. A little bit taller than Irene, but not all that much. Very much still in the average range of a gnome. Sort of chocolate brunette hair that's kind of curled, but is pulled back into a man bun.
Yeah.
that is held in place with a wooden stick. And what he's wearing is this, like the outside of his house, is kind of this weird, interesting fusion. Where it's sort of this shimmering gold, but looks like at the top kind of more of a Greek tunic, like very loose, with like brooches pinning it in the shoulder region together and sort of draped down the front. But the bottom is sort of tied with a bit of a sash and a bow in the back that creates kind of like a pseudo kimono like aesthetic. And again, it's this shimmery gold fabric that seems very soft and sleek, and with this black trim. And he's got this pair of bright green eyes and a necklace around his neck that is like a chain, and then 5 or 6 different pendants, sort of all on the same one, kind of chinking and jingling together as he moves. Both of his hands are bedecked in rings.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh my god.
Between his lips, kind of on the corner of his mouth, is a cigar.
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Oh
Which-
no.
I am obsessed with this man.
And his left leg ends in a curved sports prosthetic, which I will give you, Irene, is because this is not I came up with as part of his design. It is from a birth defect he had when he was born that caused his left leg underneath the knee to be removed.
Good times.
So he has had prosthetics all of his life. He has a collection of them.
Oh my
for
god.
He's
different
got the
needs.
sporty one on today.
Love that for him.
He's got the curved running one, like that they do for amputated runners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and it is not uncommon for him to wear that one kind of casually. He is not exactly an active man, but you know he has a workout routine he keeps. And sometimes he just doesn't change out of it or doesn't get the chance to, or for whatever reason, so it's not weird that that's the one that he has.
He just likes to be a little sporty sometimes.
His other foot has a very nice sort of Grecian sandal that sort of is tied up the leg. And he looks around the room and his eyes light on Irene and he pulls the cigar out of his mouth and he holds his arms out like for a hug. And he says, "Grandmère, it has been forever, mon Dieu. Come here, come here." And he walks over and he takes both of her cheeks in his hands and leans down and kisses her on the forehead.
I just gotta say that I think a message I sent to Parker once was my favorite thing about Ando is that he's a slut. My second favorite thing about Ando is that he's French.
Remember what I said about assigning white accents to different regions so I could feel comfortable while still differentiating people?
What's fucking hilarious to me is the amount of effort it must have taken when she did sendings to Anna to not put the accent that you could ambush us with it.
That was the point, yes.
Irene hugs him and, "Oh, hello, dear. It's so good to see you. I've missed you too. My goodness, oh, you're looking wonderful."
Well, thank you. I've missed you as well. Come here, come here. And he kisses both of your cheeks again.
Good. This is my boy.
And
Parker,
Grandson beloved.
Parker, I am consumed by desire to murder you.
I know. But second one was for the French and I rolled a 2.
Maybe he can overcome the French.
I don't know. That's a pretty big.
That's a turn up. That's okay. I did tell you not to fuck my grandson.
Which, by the way, there you go.
Oh my god.
Literally the only man.
The thing is he's too much for Julius, I think.
That's so fair.
Wow.
He's a lot.
So we found the threshold for Julius is too much.
Yeah, Julius can't have someone who's more than him.
Yeah. If anything were to happen there, it would cause the world to explode.
He very much goes, "You are going to have to tell me exactly what you have done and what you are doing to be so far away from me for so long."
Hey, honey, I've got so many stories to tell you. My goodness. Oh, it's just been such a busy time. I'm sorry. I've been terrible about keeping in touch. I've tried my best, but you know I get scatterbrained.
I know, Grandma. I am not angry. I'm not angry, I promise you. Just, you worry me so much.
I know. Ara was worried too. Everyone's worried. I'm sorry, but I'm home now.
Good. And your, friends?
Oh, yes, these are my traveling companions. Yes, everyone introduce yourself.
I am Alex.
Alex?
Julius, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
This is a really nice house.
Oh, thank you. I have designed the exterior myself, you know. I gave the artist the idea, and then he brought it to life, and it was so gorgeous.
You had it built.
Well, the building was here, you know. The building was here when I bought it, but I had a few renovations done. I had a few expansions, and I had I very much had sort of the outside appearance revamped, as it were.
Very similar, for myself. I had a house in Glass Park that I had renovated.
Oh, you're from Horitari then?
Yes.
A big city boy, I see. We can talk in a moment. Is the rest of you? Names?
Uh-oh.
I think Joe had been BRB, and she's the
Yeah.
only one left.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Nagi,
I did come back.
you're good. Nagi will offer her name. Ixalia will say Ixalia. Do you offer Ashley?
Yeah, he's keeping it consistent. He's offering Ashley, and he's still playing up that I'm a little bit overwhelmed by what's going on.
I am a lad of 15.
I am but a lad of 15.
I am just a little guy, and there's a lot going on.
I'm a little guy in a big world.
And he sort of sizes all of you up, and he just kind of, aren't you a fun bunch? And as he looks over all of you, there is such a similarity in like underneath this kind of like, well, hello, this sharpness in the way he is sizing all of you up.
Does everyone think we kidnapped Lanny? I mean, I get why, but
For very valid reasons why
Yeah.
everybody thinks
I
we kidnapped Lanny.
understand, but
Alex is engaging in some guy Sunday.
I think, I don't know if we want to, Julius would give, like, this similar, like, we met in, the, what do you want to call it? Yeah, and
The
had
hot
an
springs
issue
in
with the hot
Barcelona.
springs, and so we were stuck, near each other and ended up, enjoying each other's very much the same rehearsed thing that happened, with Ara.
And it's with a different flair, like when he asks, like, so I don't suppose you want, you don't have any sort of affiliations and no guild or, like, same questions, different flair.
No,
guilds a thing like adventuring guilds.
Of course they are, Nima. There are guilds for everything. It's the best way to do any sort of business.
Should we join a guild?
I mean, they would probably limit us to where we could be going.
Oh, that's boring. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. A lot of us
Nice
wanted to
around
just
here,
travel.
everybody. She's from somewhere else. Very interesting hearing the story.
Well, clearly she is from somewhere else. I did not mean that to be rude, darling. It's just, you know. Guild life is well, it's very simple and pretty standard. Very odd to find someone who doesn't know that sort of thing.
Well, we didn't really have adventuring guilds where I came from.
Well, then where do you come from?
She'll just kind of look at Granny and see if it's okay or if she should lie.
Granny just nods, like,
I'm from the Feywild.
You are from the Feywild.
Yep.
Well, that is unique, you know. I guess
From
all
Sorry, what
criticism.
court is Nin from, or her mom from, I guess?
The
not
Quicksilver
remember.
Court.
Quicksilver, okay.
He goes, all criticisms retracted, and that is quite foreign and exotic.
Thank you.
Crucially, it was a foreign and exotic complimentary.
I assumed.
I will again need a group persuasion check.
Yeah. I rolled a 17 that time too. Jesus. Okay. Same roll as last time, I guess. That
I
would
rolled
be...
a 1.
Oh no!
No.
Okay.
So, with my modifier, that's 5.
Oh god!
This is going a lot different.
Well,
You still have some high ones.
yeah. There's an 18 for Master, that's good.
Got the 18, the 24, the 25.
Some guy summer is canceled.
Some of you he seems to just kind of move over and not really worry about. Nin, you have attracted his attention, and Alex, his gaze seems to linger on you a little bit longer as well. And again, it's not like he's about to get hostile, but you very much get the feeling that he's made a couple mental notes.
Oh god.
I'm literally just some guy.
You are just some guy.
Nin absolutely does not notice. She thinks it went great.
Well, I suppose I did not expect so many friends, Grandma. Not that I'm complaining, of course, it's just I wasn't, you know.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't think to say how many. I just, I wasn't thinking about it.
No. It is all right. I was just thinking that if you were bringing friends, you know, I ought to play this gracious host and make some tea or maybe some biscuits or whatever I've got. I think I've got some wine as well, if that is more the speed of some of these individuals. Let me see what I have. Hold on a moment. Hold on, just to stay right there. And he sort of, you see him walk out of the room, and you hear a door open, and you hear him go. You hear his voice, and then you hear another response, and then there is quiet for a second, and then you hear him go. You hear him very clearly. I'm sorry. I said my grandmother was here to visit.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's another moment of quiet, and then you hear more chairs scraping and people moving.
Yeah. Okay, that adds more points onto Julius's roster.
That's my boy right there. I don't know if I've mentioned this about Ando lately, but he's my boy.
There's just one guy.
And he comes back a moment later and he goes, all right, yes, I think there'll be some wine in a moment. I've sent a friend of mine to go get it. You must forgive me. I had some people over today to discuss some things, and I am always happy to make time for you, Grandma. And he kisses you on the forehead again.
You should have let me know if it wasn't a good time, though, dearie. I could have come over tomorrow.
No. It is always a good time. It is always a good time for you. It is just sometimes people are a little bit persnickety and they don't understand the importance of family, and it's quite unfortunate. But they've agreed. One of them's going to go get some wine, and then they are going to be vacating the building for the evening. So
that's
all of my time for you.
Hey, that's my favorite, dearie. And I brought you souvenirs.
Oh, delightful.
And it is the things that Granny got, you know, some jewelry that was appropriate for him, you know, just things that made her think of him, little postcards and things. The souvenir bundle.
Unlike Ara, he unwraps it in front of you. And he is so delighted.
Good.
He even slips one of the rings that you got him onto his finger with another one.
Good.
It doesn't quite match, but he sort of looks at it under one of the lights and turns his hand back over to look at it another again. And he goes, perfect. absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it. You know, just thought and I thought of you. It's just, you know.
You are always the best, Grandma. I love you so very much.
Hey, too good to me, dear.
No, you were too good for me. You've always been too good to me. But,
It makes my blood hurt.
My desire for violence.
My temperature rose like 2 degrees when this man entered the room and started speaking to us.
by the
We're
time
gonna
he's
have
done...
to kill him.
No!
By the time, by the time he's done, opening the gift, someone who must be a friend of his, a human man, kind of a twink, but in a very nice yukata, like
Hell
with a
yeah.
very delicate pattern. Again, very, very rich, very upper class. Brings in a bottle of wine, which I think the only people who would know wine, only person in this group who would know wine might be Julius.
Yeah.
And the date makes your eyebrows raise.
I feel like Julius like chokes a little bit, but he's not gonna complain if we get to have this wine of this year.
I hope you don't mind a bit of a vintage. It's the red. I've been waiting for a lovely celebration to open it, and my grandma returning from seemingly the ether, I think is suitable.
Well, then, this will be a good.
I'm sorry, Grandma. I said I wasn't angry, and I promise I'm not angry. I'm just a little... You know how the nerves get to me sometimes. You know, it takes a little bit for it to...
And I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to be gone for so long. It's just one thing led to another, and you always end up things take longer than you think, travel and everything, and then it's so easy to just sort of get pulled off in a new direction. My goodness, it was just. But it was high time I got home.
It was indeed, and I understand. I understand. Yeah. And he pours everyone a glass of wine.
Hell yeah.
He does try to get away with pouring a little bit less for Irene.
That Irene won't call him on it.
Aster's trying to figure out if the correct move to do here is to refuse it.
He pours you a glass of wine, Aster.
Fine.
You know, that's his problem.
It's a cool uncle.
Yeah.
He does, as he hands you the glass, just go, I won't say anything if you won't. And he gives you a little bit of a wink.
Do you think alcohol to the 15-year-old?
Just drink it slowly.
You know what? I can turn the French accent makes Joe go evil into just...
Julius is gonna just kind of like somebody would to a younger person, just like, small sips, don't drink too much. But he's giving Aster the eyes of like, I'm just saying this because we're in a place like this.
you and I both know what's up.
Yeah.
And I was like, good advice, good advice. The boy has to get his hair on his chest at some point, so.
Well, a red wine vintage will certainly do that.
So
I think
good
that
at
might...
keeping a straight face.
Well, a red wine vintage certainly will spoil the taste buds, I would say.
Oh, I know, and that's a bit of a shame, but you know, if your first one isn't good, then you're never going to want to drink again, so.
That is true. Julius will take a sip of the wine.
It's good. It's fucking fancy wine, dude.
Yeah. Excellent.
The twink kind of hovers awkwardly in the corner of the room while this all happens, and at some point, Ondo kind of catches him standing there, and he just, hey, and he just kind of, voledo, like in Polundian, at him, and he kind of mercy, and scoots his ass out of there. God bless.
Yeah.
And you banged it?
Accidentally in friend's grandmother reunion.
He does kind of spend the evening idly asking questions, particularly of Nin.
Makes sense.
He seems kind of interested in the Feywild, but he does tell you, Irene, just like, we're going to have to sit down, you and me, and talk more about your journeys, okay?
Yes, of course, dear. Yes. Can't wait. I've got sketches to show you. I left my scrapbook at home, and I've got so many things.
Oh, I'm so excited, but I don't want to be rude and ignore the rest of my guests.
Yes, of course.
Again, he is very, kind of interested in the Feywild and kind of getting some stories from you, Nin.
She'll answer as best as she can. She probably leaves the whole hag thing out.
Yeah,
but
he finds you he finds you absolutely fucking hilarious, by the way.
I think at some point she'll probably show him the hat of Vermin.
He thinks that's just the fucking darndest thing.
Do you want a rat?
Oh no, darling, no. I don't want a rat in this house. But
She looks confused at that, but nods.
But the hat itself is it's so fun. You really ought to keep it, you know. I bet you could get in all sorts of mischief.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel like there's a story there.
Julius is gonna lean over conspiratorially and just be like, she did kind of torment my stepfather. He was a pain in the ass.
Oh.
Luckily, he's getting divorced soon.
Did not appreciate my gifts.
No, he didn't.
It was
And
very
it's a
rude of him.
shame.
You're right, that is such a shame.
Talks about the Pope, but describes him as Julius's shitty stepdad.
Yeah.
Power move.
Yep.
And at one point, another one of Ondo's friends sticks his head in, another one you haven't seen, a large sort of half-orc man, shaved head, long tattoos running down his side, and he says something to him in Polundian, and Ondo turns his head, and you hear that same tone as, I'm sorry I said my grandmother was visiting, as he responds to him in rapid-fire Polundian. And the other guy kind of tries to say something, and Ondo puts his fucking foot down.
Oh.
And the guy kind of, right, yep, okay, sorry, and scoots his ass out again. And he turns back around. I am so sorry, my friends are so needy sometimes.
I think that's alright. Dear, you can go spend time with them if you need to.
No. They can wait. They've had the opportunity to talk to me as much as they've wanted in the last 3 months, and yet it's today they choose to make themselves a bother. You, I have not seen.
Well, I'm just very glad to be back.
And that is the evening, unless anyone has anything specifically they want to talk or ask him.
I think Julie
Yeah,
Julie's
so.
is making small talk of like, so what's the local cuisine here? Or like, like that sort of thing.
And he gives you a couple of spot recommendations.
Hell
They
yeah.
sound bougie as fuck.
Yeah.
What's the vibe check on this man?
Roll an insight.
I'd also
Happily.
like to.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah,
as
I'll
well.
get on
He's
that.
given me vibes.
Well, that's not bad.
Is that okay? That's an 18 plus. What's my insight?
22.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Insight buddies.
Insight gang.
Just like with Aura, all of you can tell with such clarity, this man loves his grandmother.
Very
Very,
fair.
very much.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah.
And while he is a little over the top, his adoration for her is genuine. And when he turns to speak to her in specific, even, he is so just adoring and fretting and just everything has to be perfect for his grandma. When he speaks to his friends, on the other hand, the more you see them poke their heads in, speak to him, even so much as sort of glance his way, he has this sort of commanding presence with them. And even if you can't understand what he's saying, sometimes he talks to them very harshly with someone he calls his friend. And they respond with a deference. And it's like he expects them to.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
PK, my perfect French grandson, incorrect.
Yeah.
Guys, he's my perfect French grandson.
Where'd he get all this money, Granny?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You have two descriptors in this sentence, and they are contradictory.
Perfect
they
and
cannot
French.
exist alongside each other. He can either be perfect or he can be French.
Yeah.
And by God, is he French?
He's extremely French.
Yes. God.
The other thing you get from him is that he's a slut.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, that's respectable, but
Yeah, we can respect the
Frenchness
slut.
we're worried about.
The energy is that he appreciates both Julius's looks and Nin's looks.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
The man is pansexual and a slut.
Love that for him.
Incredible. We love this shitty little French man.
Julius will use his looks.
He's my Porbo.
Julius will use his looks for evil and get some more wine if it's provided.
And I think with him eventually saying his goodbyes to the lot of you, is where we're gonna call session for the evening.
God. Oh, I love this.